By now, you may have realized that the position title of data scientist is not the only title that pertains to data science ideas such as probability, coding, machine learning, etc. Let's go ahead and go over different positions and titles and what employers in general expect from someone applying to that particular position. So as I mentioned, data scientist is not the only job title that companies use, and lots of companies use different titles for different focuses for roles in the field of data science. And I should be clear here that companies also use the same term differently. So a data scientist at a small company may be called a data analyst at a larger company like Google. So we're going to go over a few titles and their general descriptions and things that tend to differentiate these titles. Again, each company may be a different situation. So first off, we have someone that's maybe called a product analyst or sometimes a product data scientist. And this is a person who analyzes user data to create reports that generally go to their product managers directly. And typically they're using coding as their main tool, but sometimes certain companies may prefer a predefined software tool, something like Tableau, for instance. Then there's the business analyst or someone who works in business intelligence. And that's attempting to create insights and analysis from business data. So this may also be user data, but specifically this data pertains to whatever the main business of this company is. And often a business analyst or business intelligence engineer is going to focus on using a specific tool such as Tableau or Excel, or maybe using some internal tool. And in fact, if you're a business intelligence engineer, your job may be to actually help develop an internal tool that mimics some of the features of Tableau or Excel, but is more specifically designed towards whatever this particular company's business data is. Then you have the title machine learning engineer. Now, machine learning engineer, this tends to be a very technical role, both in theoretical knowledge and really good coding skills are necessary. And in general, the machine learning engineer is going to create custom machine learning algorithm models for the team. So they're not just going to do simple imports from some sort of predetermined library like scikit-learn or some of the models that already exist in R. If you're being hired on as a machine learning engineer, it's likely that you're going to have to develop some sort of custom machine learning algorithm model. And it's going to be based on the fundamentals, things like random forest or maybe regression models, etc. But you're going to have to customize them to this particular company's needs. So again, this is usually a very technical role, and a lot of times companies are going to demand some sort of higher education to reflect that technical ability. Not always, but it is pretty common. Then you have a data engineer role, which differs from the machine learning engineer. Now, a data engineer, it's again a technical role, but it's actually focused more on coding and tools and not so much on theory. And a data engineer typically at a company is going to be building pipelines that connect the actual data warehouse to data analysis or machine learning systems. So a lot of times you can think of the data engineer as the person that's building the systems that connect the actual data warehouse to the team that's going to analyze it, the data scientists themselves. Then you have this classic data scientist role and title, and this generally requires a mix of coding and theory skills. And often companies are going to post a more detailed use case on the actual job posting. So overall, for many of these positions, focus less on the actual title and focus more on the qualifying skills of the job posting itself. So you can use sites like glassdoor.com to find out more information about company job titles and what that job title actually relates to as far as day-to-day tasks are concerned at that company. Thanks, and I'll see you at the next lecture.